We are just a couple days away from UFC Saudi Arabia, Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov, which means it's time for me to break down every single fight on this card, starting with the early prelim opener, going all the way up to the main event of the evening. Before I get started, moving forward, we are going to be working with Locks by RJ, giving you my best exclusive UFC picks in his Discord. So if you go check the link tree in my bio, the top link, that'll get you access to it. You'll be able to get 20% off if you use code GENIE at checkout. So go check that out, and let me hop right into it with the first fight of the night. Bolaji versus Kareem Abdul Al-Sewady. Both these guys are coming off of losses. This is a short notice fight for Bolaji. He stepped in recently, forgetting the name off the top of my head, but Kareem Abdul Al-Sewady lost his last fight. Same with Bolaji, but Kareem Abdul Al-Sewady got knocked out in the third round by Loic Radzhabov. And he kind of got knocked down in the first round, took a lot of damage in that fight, in my opinion. Bolaji, he got submitted pretty fast in his last fight by Chris Duncan. So it's a tough call, to be honest. Which one do you like more? Do you like a guy surviving to the third round but getting beat up more? Or do you like a guy getting in and out but losing by submission? I think he actually went unconscious, though, so he's still... But going unconscious in a submission, a lot of guys show like that they can just do that online. Like Mike Perry does that, so... Who knows how bad that actually is for you? Who knows? But I think that's probably a better way to go out than getting beat up and TKO'd in the third round, you know? So I'm going to say Bolaji has a bit more potential here. He looked good against Timothy Kawamba. He got a good finish on Dana White Contender Series. And I think I'm going to go with him to get a TKO here against Al-Sewady. I think Al-Sewady doesn't react well to a lot of strikes on the feet. And I think Bolaji is going to get it done. So we're going to go with a round 3 or round 2. We're going to go with a round 2 TKO win for Bolaji. That's the official pick. Next fight up the card, we've got Hamdy Abdelwahab versus Jamal Pogues. Oh my God. So Hamdy Abdelwahab in his last fight, he fought Don'Tale Mayes, and he won the fight, but it got overturned after because he failed a drug test. Which is interesting because he doesn't really look like a guy that's juicing or whatever, but he was. I think he's going to look a lot worse than he did in that fight, even though I think Don'Tale Mayes should have won it. It was like a split decision. It went to Hamdy. Don'Tale Mayes did have like an argument to win that fight, and I think he's going to look a lot worse here because he's not on whatever supplement or whatever he was on before. So I think Jamal Pogues, who already fraud-checked guys like Tom Peterson and Josh Parisian. He did lose to McParkin, but McParkin's pretty good. I don't think Hamdy's going to be good after he got his only like good thing taken away from him, which was drugs. So I think Jamal Pogues is going to get it done wrestling-wise. He's going to take him down, grind out 3 rounds. We're going to go with the Jamal Pogues decision win. That's the official pick. Next fight up the card, we've got Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. So Bogdan Grad is coming off of the Contender Series where he fought Michael as well, won a split decision where he looked pretty good. He's pretty crafty on the feet as a striker. He can overextend at times, but he's always throwing something. Like he'll throw a spinning back kick, and if it doesn't land, like he's already planted, ready for the hook. But he will overextend sometimes and get caught with like a jab or cross. Like he'll throw out a winging hook and it'll miss, and he'll get his head popped back sometimes. But he's a pretty versatile striker, and he throws a lot of strikes out on the feet. He'll mix up a little bit of grappling. Lucas Alexander in his last fight got knocked out in like a minute and a half by Jekka Seregi. It was a bad look for him. He probably will want to come out and get a much better performance here, so I don't think he's going to get knocked out early again. I'm going to go with a Bogdan Grad decision win, though. I think he's just going to be doing a bit more on the feet, and he's the young blood here. You know, he's going to want to get this early win against an established name like Lucas Alexander, so we're going to go with Bogdan Grad by decision. That's the official pick. Next fight up the card, we've got Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Marya Bueno Silva. Jasmine Jasudavicius, in her last fight, she beat Lipsky by Darce choke. Looked pretty good in that fight. Before that, she beat Fatima Klein. That win ages really well now. Fatima Klein looked incredible in her last showing, getting a TKO win over Victoria Dudakova. Marya Bueno Silva has looked terrible recently. She lost to Macy Chiasson, who's not a bad loss. Like, I'll give her a little bit more credit than I have in the past. And she looks pretty bad against Raquel Pennington. She was the champion, actually. She's not the champion anymore. And Holly Holm, that win doesn't even count. That's a no contest. So, Marya Bueno Silva recently, she does not look good on the feet. She gets out wrestled. She gasses out. Jasmine Jasudavicius is going to wrestle her and gas her out, do more work than Marya Bueno Silva, and she's going to win a decision here. I'm really high up on Jasmine Jasudavicius. She's one of my favorite female prospects right now. And she's obviously going to get this one done, guys. Marya Bueno Silva is not that good. We've learned this. Don't fall for this one. We're going to go with a Jasmine Jasudavicius decision win. That's the official pick. Next fight up the card, we've got Ziam versus Mike Davis. The line for this one intrigues me. Mike Davis is the favorite here, which is understandable. You know, this guy shows up every 1.5 years for a paycheck, and he looks incredible every time he shows up. But Ziam is this young up-and-comer. He did lose to Terrence McKinney way back in like 2022, but he's put together a 4-fight win streak now, coming off of a Matt Frivola round 3 KO win by a fucking massive knee to the head. Looked great that fight. A lot of people didn't like his performance, but I thought he looked pretty good, and he had a clear game plan to win the fight, which I like. He's a big game plan guy. Ziam, I think a lot of people underestimate this guy, give him a lot less credit than he deserves. And I think he's going to get a win over Mike Davis. I'm going to go with the decision win. I think he's going to, especially if it gets to the gritty territory and the clinch and all that. Ziam is a tall, physical guy that's going to be able to get the underhooks and hold him against the fence. I'm telling you, Ziam's getting this decision win. Next fight up the card, we've got Terrence McKinney versus Domir Hadzovic. Terrence McKinney 10-second KO win is the official pick. Domir Hadzovic is coming off of like a massive layoff since 2022, and I'm pretty sure it was a knee injury that brought him. He had to pull out of a fight in February of last year. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that was a knee issue he had, and he's 37 years old. You know, he's at the end of his career, and Terrence McKinney wins these. I'm telling you, this is a layup. He lost his last one, stunning head kick knockout. Terrence McKinney took a crazy head kick that fight, and I'm telling you, they're giving him a fucking layup here to get his hype back. You know, they do this every once in a while. He got that massive like flying knee against the fence a while ago in like 10 seconds. I'm telling you, he's winning this fight. There's not a chance in hell he loses, and he's gonna get a round 1 vicious knockout. Look out. Next fight up the card, Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson. Oh my God, what a fight we have here, guys. These two people are just two big, beefy hunks of meat, man. They're going to be blobbing it up out there, just dumpa. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're just going to be dumping it out up there. Shamil Gaziev's, he's got to be at least 50 pounds over the heavyweight limit. They just let him in. Thomas Peterson, he did beat Muhammad Usman in his last fight. But the fight before that, he did not look good against Jamal Pogues at all. And Jamal Pogues is like a good stepping stone in the division. A lot of these guys fall to him. I know a Shamil Gaziev would eat him alive, though. If you know what I mean. You guys know. Shamil Gaziev, this guy, he's a big, colossal giant, and he's going to just be on top of him the whole time, just slugging away. Thomas Peterson has no path of victory here. Shamil Gaziev wins this fight by decision. That's the official pick. I can't be serious in a fight like this, guys. I'm sorry. This is what you're getting. We're going Shamil Gaziev decision win. That's the official pick. We are on to the main card now. First fight of the main card is Muhammad Naimov versus Kaan Ofli. Naimov's coming off of a loss against Felipe Lima. He got submitted in the 3rd round. Felipe Lima looked really good, and he's looked really good since that fight. Ages pretty well that loss. But Naimov's going to want to get one back. You know, he looked pretty funny getting strangled out by Lima in that fight. Kaan Ofli got viciously knocked out in the 2nd round against Myron Santos in his last fight. Hate to see it, man. Hate to see it. He was out cold. He was stiff. He was in the fencing position, you know, not looking good at all. Naimov is going to win this fight, guys. I'm telling you. Ofli, a lot of people are picking it on Topology as a KO. I really don't think Naimov's going to do that. I think this one's going right to the decision. Naimov is going to win a convincing 30-27 unanimous decision or 29-28. I don't see Ofli's grappling working. Maybe Naimov is able to knock him out. Maybe, who knows. But I'm going to go with the Muhammed Naimov decision win as the official. And we're switching the card graphic up because I had the wrong fight. That Muniz-Aliskerov fight's off the card. It's not happening. So next fight up the card is actually Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. I've been tossing and turning on who I'm going to pick in this fight. Said Nurmagomedov in his last one, he beat Muin Gafarov, who just beat Rinny Nakamura. Looked pretty... I don't know how to rate Muin Gafarov. I don't know how to rate Muin Gafarov. He's the dark horse of the division here. Vinicius Oliveira looked incredible against Ricky Simone, denied the takedowns, kept it on the feet, beat him up. And listen, Said Nurmagomedov has lost dominantly to strikers before. You know, Jonathan Martinez looked really good against him. Raoni Barcelos. Vinicius Oliveira, he's a vicious striker, man. I love this guy. He's looked really good, and I get Bernardo Sopage was able to control him for a bit. But listen, Bernardo Sopage ended up lifeless on the ground that fight. So how much are we really going to give credit for a little bit of control time? I think Vinicius Oliveira is going to win this fight is what I'm saying. I'm tossed and turned on this one. In my head, I've thought, oh yeah, well, Said could probably control him. He kept fucking Ricky Simone on the feet. Dude's a brick shit house. And I get it. Ricky Simone's an American. He's not a Dagestani, so all these Russian guys are going to be like, oh, obviously, alhamdulillah, Said's going to win this fight. Fuck you. Vinicius Oliveira's going to win by decision. I nearly said knockout. I don't think he's going to knock out Said. I think he's going to win by decision against Said. Beat him up on the feet. Show him you don't step to a Brazilian. Said Nurmagomedov is not winning this fight. We're going to go with a Vinicius Oliveira decision win is the official pick. And this next fight, guys, Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Oh my God. What a fight. So, Pavlovich has lost his last 2 fights. He got knocked out by Tom Aspinall, came back, got beat up by Alexander Volkov and lost a decision. Rozenstruik, he has looked pretty good recently. He went to a split decision with Tai Tuivasa. That's not actually that good, if you think about it. He beat Shamil Gaziev, but Shamil Gaziev, it's a joke, you know. He's all a meme with Shamil Gaziev. Pavlovich, he's been knocking these guys out. Like the exact build of Rozenstruik is the guys that Pavlovich has knocked out to get to the level he's at. And I get he lost 2 high-level fights. Volkov would kick Rozenstruik's ass. Aspinall would absolutely obliterate Rozenstruik within a minute. Pavlovich is going to win this fight, guys. I'm telling you. Under half a round. Pavlovich under half a round. Round 1 knockout is the official pick. Anything else, and I'm unhappy. Pavlovich is getting this fight done within 2.5 minutes. Just leaving Rozenstruik against the fence. Running at him with some winging hooks. He's getting him out of there is all I'm trying to say. Pavlovich is winning this fight. Round 1, under 2.5 minutes. That's the official pick. And the co-main event, Shara Magomedov versus Michael Venom Page. Oh my God, what a fight. I can't wait for this one, to be honest with you. I'm going with MVP, guys. I'm going with MVP. There's a reason. Listen, this fight's at 185. There's no way MVP's getting knocked out with his fucking movement. He was out striking Ian Gary, who's one of the best strikers at welterweight. Shara Magomedov, I get it. He's the new kid on the block, you know. Oh, he knocked out Armin Petrosyan. Oh, he beat Michael Oleksiejczuk. Who hasn't? I'm telling you, MVP is just on a different level than him. He went like toe-to-toe with Ian Gary. That was an insanely close fight. And he only lost it because Ian Gary had to implement a different part of his game that he wasn't even saying. Ian Gary in the lead-up said he was going to show levels on the feet. And what happened? MVP showed him, yeah, there is levels on the feet. And he's the one above Ian Gary. Shara Magomedov, I don't think, is ever going to be a champion in the UFC. I think he's definitely at a skill limit coming up here soon. This might be it. He doesn't have grappling. He's a pure striker. MVP's going to be able to out-grapple him if it goes to the ground. And MVP has an incredible striking advantage. You know, maybe not an advantage. I don't know how it's going to go in this fight here. But MVP also has a 6-inch reach advantage, 79 compared to 73. MVP's looked incredible in the UFC, man. And I really think he's got a good chance to win this fight. I don't think he's going to knock out Shara Bullet, but I think MVP's going to win a decision, and I'm taking that dog money all day. I'm taking that dog money all day. It doesn't matter that I look like Shara Bullet. I think he's losing this fight. I think he's reached the ceiling, and I think MVP is going to get it done. We're going to go with MVP by decision. That's the official pick. On to the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. And guys, I've been tossing and turning, going back and forth on who I'm picking in this one. I think I've got my concrete pick. If you asked me any of the days last week, it was a different pick. You know, I was going back and forth. I was going, oh, Nasruddin, no, Izzy, no, Nasruddin, no, Izzy. Listen. Nasruddin is a sloppy striker. He went toe-to-toe with Brendan Allen, but did a lot more than Brendan Allen, was beating him up. Maybe toe-to-toe is not the best word, but he's a sloppy guy. He was taking lots of knees to the face, elbows from Brendan Allen, but he probably wasn't expecting Brendan Allen to be able to throw all that. He was expecting more grappling, and yeah, it wasn't his approach in the fight. It wasn't what he was expecting. Izzy, against DDP, a lot of people are saying he looked really good. I rewatched it, guys. DDP's sloppiness was working on him from the first round. You know, he was able to run forward with an overhand and then a hook. You know, it's stuff that shouldn't work on a guy like Izzy, but it was. And Izzy keeps his hands too low. And Izzy his head movement's not good. His head just getting popped back from the shoot from DDP, you know? Nasruddin is a guy that has good in and out movement, just like Izzy, and he's a counter striker, just like Izzy. But he also is good at throwing out combos which we saw. Izzy doesn't like when a guy puts volume on him. It's not something he likes, and I think Nasruddin Imavov could win this fight, just out game planning him, going to a decision with him. You guys are acting like you're acting like Izzy's title defenses were all like super dominant. Half of them were like razor close decisions. Robert Whittaker, Marvin Vettori, you know, Jared Cannonier. That was closer than a lot of people think it was. It's fights like those that makes me think Nasruddin Imavov has a chance. You know, I get he has a sloppy style. DDP's the champion right now. Go look at the Derek Brunson fight. He didn't look good at all. You can't keep holding wins against people, or like, they won the fight. They're going to improve from it. They're young guys. They're obviously going to improve. I think Nasruddin Imavov has a better chance here to win this fight. He's not 35 coming off of 2 losses. You know, he's got good momentum coming in here. He is French. I'm worried about that. I am worried about that. But I'm going to go with Nasruddin Imavov to win a 5-round decision against Israel Adesanya. That's the official pick. Let me know what you guys thought of my picks. That's every one of them. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll be back here for more soon. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.